What's going on, everybody? What's going on YouTube is AALS3179. I decided to re-upload it again because we had a little connection problem, so all that stuff. So today we're going to be talking about the top 17 favorite rivalries in sports, like which teams that don't get along or how they cannot stand each other, all that stuff. So anyways, we're going to go take a look at it, all that stuff. So yeah, we're going to have a see what's going to happen and how come these guys don't get along. So well, not get along. Mostly, these are my favorite rivalries. Actually, my favorite rivalry sports. This has nothing to do with the teams. This has something to do with myself. That which rivalries that I do like to enjoy to see. Well, that's just my opinion, and all that stuff. So, anyways, I'm only going to count football, baseball, basketball, hockey, which just means only NFL, NBA, NHL, and MLB. We're not going to do no college football, no MLS, no soccer, none of that stuff. It's going to be only for these major four sports right here. So, anyways, let's get it started. Now, the first rivalry I like is the Steelers and the Bengals. Now, the reason why I picked Steelers and Bengals for the first because let's just say this. The Bengals, I remember during 2015 season, the Bengals had a dominant season. That's until when the Steelers decided to catch up. Not just that, here's a fun fact. One of the players who got injured when they were facing Cleveland, the Browns take the knee, but meanwhile, with the other player got injured against the Bengals celebrated. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard rumors it's not true. But even though they took a knee and stuff like that, my favorite part is the 2015 playoff game, which is my opinion was way better than Super Bowl 50. No, it's not because of the Broncos winning, because Super Bowl 50 could have been better. But I feel like the playoff game between the Bengals and Steelers was better because, especially when it rains and stuff like that in Cincinnati, including my favorite part is when they were going at it. It's like becoming a war zone between those two teams. And I remember the time when Ben Roethlisberger was out, someone had to take over. Roethlisberger came back in, and so many missed calls on the last minute when Antonio Brown got hit by Montez Burfict. It was a flag on Montez Burfict, and then Pac-Man Jones got flagged for that. It was a really intense rivalry. Like, you can tell, like, these two teams can't stand each other during 2015. However, there still remain rivalry to this day. They both represent the AFC North, although they can still consider rivalries. So we got more brutal rivalries coming up. So next rivalry will be the Patriots and the Ravens. Now, the reason why I picked the Patriots and Ravens, okay, fun fact is my dad is a New England Patriots fan and my mom is a Baltimore Ravens fan. Now, anyone asks how did they got married? Okay, before that happened, my parents were never football fans to begin with. They never were, even though after they've been football guys? I think because we got him into it, or I'm not so sure. Or maybe to be fair, because my dad got into it because the work where he works at, there's a lot of Patriot fans where we work at, including my mom. She got into the Ravens because, her dad, my other grandpa, my grandpa, you could say, lives all the way in Baltimore, Maryland. And you could say my uncle, who's my mom's older brother, lives in Baltimore. So the Patriots and Ravens, the reason why, although they haven't shown side effects, all that stuff, the rivalry, but it's been a while I haven't seen them because I remember one time when they always see each other too many times in the playoffs. Although they saw each other the day when the Ravens started out, but the rivalry didn't start until, I believe, 2007 when they were seeing each other too many times in the playoffs, including the linebacker Terrell Suggs can't stand Tom Brady. I don't know. That's what I heard. Like, he said he can't stand Tom Brady or something like that. Well, you got to be honest. Brady's a good quarterback. As much as he's a Raider fan, he's a good quarterback. I'm not going to lie. He is a really good quarterback. But Terrell Suggs is a good linebacker. But these two guys have no, because these guys have a beef. That's probably how it all started between the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. Oh, and fun fact is, I think the last time when they faced each other, maybe it was 2014 era, when the Ravens, one of them just did something wrong to Brady. Brady was going to get into a fight. Like, he was saying to the referee, like, he pushed me, something like that. Like, Brady couldn't stand it. He got heated up. He wanted to get into a fight with one of the Ravens players. I was like, sheesh, man. I can't believe a guy like this, that old, wanted to get into a fight with these guys because, well, to be fair, because that was like an unsportsmanlike conduct, something like that. But there's more rivalries. Coming up next is the Boston Red Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, hold on, let me grow the logo a little bit bigger because I couldn't see the comments just in case if you guys say, you know what, I'm going to put it right here because we're going to make it a little bigger. How's that for everybody? How's that, everyone? You guys like it? Just let me know down in the comments. Okay, so Cardinals and Red Sox. So the reason why I call them rivalries is because not a long time ago, actually, they met each other not once but twice in the World Series. However, Boston has got 0-2-0 against the Cardinals in the World Series. Fun fact is, I heard every time when there was between St. Louis and Boston, they always see each other in the playoffs, because I heard when St. Louis used to have a basketball team, they were facing the Boston Celtics. Then we used to have the Boston Brewers taking on the St. Louis Blues. And when, the Rams, before they moved the relocation, when they were in St. Louis, they faced the New England Patriots. However, Boston already dominates St. Louis, so this considered as a St. Louis versus Boston rivalry. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Cardinals and Red Sox should be a rivalry? Because in my personal opinion, they do, because they saw each other in the two World Series, I believe was 2004 and 2013. Yeah, 2004, 2013, I believe. I believe it was 14 and 2000. I know it was 2004, or maybe it was 2013, I believe. Yeah, it has to be. But that's why, because, there was considered rivalries between those two teams. Okay, so it's not this side. So coming up next in our team, we're going down. Ooh, my hockey team, the Los Angeles Kings, take on the Anaheim Ducks. Now, these are crosstown rivalries. Now, for anyone that's going to ask, how far is from Anaheim to Los Angeles? Well, if you guys are from Los Angeles, well, okay, for those of you guys that are not from Los Angeles, that never visit LA, that you guys ask yourself how far is between Los Angeles and Anaheim, well, you have to take a freeway. It's like, let's just say, it's like driving from, okay, for anyone that is from Boston, this downtown Boston, if you're driving, let's say if you're driving to a New England Patriots stadium, Gillette Stadium, that's how far apart that's between from Boston all the way to slightly to Gillette Stadium, kind of. Well, not fully really, but it's a little bit it's like an hour or several minutes away from drive. But even though Boston and Anaheim, well, Los Angeles and Anaheim are slightly kind of similar cities, but they're not really like that close, but they're like a little bit apart. But that's why they call themselves, like, similar like the Dodgers and Angels Freeway World Series, or no, Freeway Series, but not Freeway Series, but these two guys have a beef between. You have the Kingdom area that's in LA, you have the Ducks area, which is the in Anaheim, but both teams can agree on they both represent the same cities, but they can't stand one another. And I bet Ducks and Kings fans can't stand each other too. So next in our list, the new Washington Commanders, which they used to be the Washington football team in Washington, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because of some reasons. If you guys want to say in the comments, go for it, because you guys know what I'm talking about. Is between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Washington and Dallas in football, man, these guys can't stand each other. Let's just say there's been of a beef. They hate. It's like I hate you and you hate me. So he hates him and he hates him. So he hates me. He really hates me. That's what he was trying to do. But you know what? There's like two jerseys. Let's just say, imagine Rob Smart comes out with the he hates me jersey. He should be like, he hates me because he hates me. Imagine wearing the Cowboys jersey, put he hates me because of Washington. Oh, man. They guys are brutal, man. This is a brutal rivalry. So I thought the Cowboys' main rivalry would have been the Giants or Eagles, but it turns out that it is Washington Commanders. So I know the Commanders didn't start it. I know they used to be that one team, which I'm not going to say. Then they went to the football team, and now they went to Commanders. So we're going to see what happens between Cowboys and Commanders. And fun fact is they both start with the CO. Now, coming up next is the list is the Dodgers and the Yankees. Woo! My team against the New York Yankees and my brother's team. So me and my brothers can agree on the reason why we're rivalries, because the World Series, we've seen each other numerous times. You have the East Side, which is New York, and the West Side, Los Angeles. Two of the most biggest major cities. New York is number one, Los Angeles number two. So a lot of people are predicting that it will be a chance this year. Hopefully, cross my fingers to this day. I hope Dodgers and Yankees, because I heard the Dodgers are doing well. The Yankees are dominating. We might have another Yankees and Dodgers World Series. This should be the top rivalry in Major League Baseball sports, because you have two different conference teams seeing each other numerous times in the championship game. You have the Dodgers, you have the Yankees. And my favorite moment about Dodgers and Yankees that not just they see each other World Series, they see each other. Although sadly we get to see the Yankees every 3 years, but it still doesn't apart the rivalry. You have when the Dodgers were in Brooklyn, when they were the Brooklyn Dodgers, they used to face each other, even in the World Series too, until the move to Los Angeles. But the rivalry still hasn't gone away. So we got still more two rivalry teams. So, oh man, the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets. Okay, whew, what can I start? In Philadelphia, you can't stand a team that is blue, orange, or black, that one player said. But in Mets, you cannot stand red, white, and blue team as long as they represent Philadelphia. There's been two teams that can't stand each other, literally. They can't stand. It's like one kid can't stand each other and the other kid can't stand each other. Sorry about the yell from my brother, but still, you can't stand this guy and you can't stand the other guy. It's like, hey, this guy can't stand this guy, while the other guy, the same guy that can't stand the other guy, can't stand him as well. So, one thing, fun fact is they can agree on. There was a night game. I think it was a Thursday night. No, it was a Tuesday night baseball game. It was back in 2011 when America went together. Because at the time, I believe was I think it was there was when the time when they all got together and the game ended at night, because there was something which I'm not going to explain to that. You guys could just type it up yourself whenever you guys can. Go to YouTube, type in New York Mets versus Philadelphia Phillies 2011 if you guys want to go for it, or Philadelphia Phillies versus New York Mets 2011. Type it up and you guys know what I'm talking about, because there was a 2011 night show when they were facing, because it was when people became patriotic when America was together because of something was going on, which I'm not going to explain to you. You guys can go find out yourself. Although they may get along at that moment, but they still can't stand one another. All right. San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers. My team, well, let's just say the Padres can't stand the Dodgers. Dodgers don't like the Padres. Well, this is a battle between SoCal, because, Dodgers will represent up the north, south of the California area, and all the way up north, and south is the San Diego Padres. So these guys don't like each other. They can't stand each other. There's been no blood. There's like it's like for Padre fans, they can't stand the Dodgers. For Dodger fans, it's like this. Hey Padres, you make my blue bloods boil. Same as the Padres too. They'll be like, you're my navy blue or black, or not black, sorry, brown and yellow blood boiled. Oh my goodness. Although, San Diego, Los Angeles are not related. They're like 2 hours apart. This is a 2-hour rivalry between them two. So my team and the Dodgers. So coming up next, oh yeah, my football team against the Kansas City Chiefs. What can I say? The Raiders can't stand the Chiefs and the Chiefs can't stand the Raiders. Well, the rivalry started, a long time ago, although the Chiefs may take over, which I'll give them credit, but it still doesn't count, because you know why? Because, there's a fight between the Davis family, which is the Raiders side, and the Hunt family, which is the Chiefs side. Although these guys, particular can't stand one another. Raiders have horrible rivalries, but this is one of them, and it's the Kansas City Chiefs. So they're playing like chess. It's like chess. No, not chess. Sorry, checkers. It's like you're playing checkers. You got black and red checkers. You got the black side, which is the Raiders. The red side is the Chiefs. Doesn't matter. Raider Nation, or what do they call it? Chiefs Kingdom. These guys don't like each other. And fun fact is, my best friend, yes, my best friend is a Chiefs fan. So if anyone asks, how the heck are you guys our best friends, even though you're a Raider and he's a Chief? Well, I don't know. Don't ask me. Well, we've been best friends way before I found out his team, so I don't know. So, yeah, you can say. All right, coming up next is, oh my God, this is one of the most funniest, most brutal rivalry. St. Louis Cardinals and Cincinnati Reds. So the reason why the Cardinals can't stand the Reds is because, they're almost close by each other between, Missouri and Ohio. Fun fact is, when during the All-Star game, back in 2015, there was an All-Star game that Cincinnati hosted. Oh my goodness. When Joe Buck himself started to laugh when they announced the Cardinals, everybody went boo, boo to the Cardinals, man. Sheesh. I mean, I gotta be honest, the Reds fans don't like Cardinals fans don't like Reds fans, and they don't like each other in baseball. So this is one thing I like about the rivalry. You have two teams, they both wear red. One of them is like gold and navy blue, which is Cardinals, and one is white, which is the Reds. These guys may agree on that, this is one of the rivalries that you guys can't stand each other in baseball. Coming up next, this is a good one. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, kind of like New England Patriots, but except the difference that they both represent the AFC North. However, these guys, got into a fight. Even Terrell Suggs, the linebacker of the Baltimore Ravens, admitted to the public that he has a bounty with one of the former wide receiver Pittsburgh Steelers, Hines Ward. Although, they always see each other twice every time and playoffs numerous times, but the Ravens and Steelers can't stand each other. Now, fun fact is, before the Tennessee Titans, they were the Houston Oilers. They were the hatred of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers and the Oilers don't like each other. Before the Ravens exist, they were the original Cleveland Browns before they were the Baltimore Ravens. Although they have seen each other a long time ago, because you could count, because this is the original Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens. They see each other numerous times. However, the new version Browns, they're barely new to this, and they seen the Steelers barely in 1999. Although you could say they're still the same team. I'm not saying they're apart, but even though the Baltimore Ravens were the original Cleveland Browns. However, after the Oilers relocated from Houston to Tennessee, and now a couple of years later they went to Tennessee Titans. Although the Titans are still rivals with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but ever since the Oilers and Steelers rivalry hasn't been the same since. Now the Ravens took over. Baltimore Ravens can't stand each other. The Ravens, Steelers can't stand each other. Although they're 3 hours apart, but they can all agree on this is the most brutal rivalry in sports of NFL. One of the oldest rivalries in NHL. It is the Montreal and Toronto. Hold on, make sure that there's nothing. Good, there's nothing in there. Okay, the Canadiens and Maple Leafs. So the Canadiens Maple Leafs. This is like one of the oldest rivalries in NHL history. Although there's several parts away from each other, there is two provinces. One is two different languages. One is French Canadian, the other was English Canadian, and these guys can't stand each other once another. I heard they trade coaches. I heard the rival was brutal way before the NHL existed, until when NHL existed now, which is today. Canadians, Maple Leafs, there's like point out fingers, say, hey, I don't like you. If you don't like me, then wait, we hate each other. So I wonder how much fights they can get, especially, these guys can't stand each other, both teams. Even I heard they were like brutalizing each other, and they want to see who's the best. Although they both can agree on they want the title, but hey, they don't like each other. Oof, another one. One of my all-time favorite teams, the Los Angeles Lakers, but rivalry with the Boston Celtics. The reason why they're rivalries is because both of them are still in the tide with 17 NBA Finals titles, but they see each other numerous times. It always goes back to the old days. Well, for Boston Celtics, I know it's Larry Bird. Okay, if you guys want, type in some more players for the Celtics, because I don't keep in touch with other teams, just my own. I know they used to have the Hall of Famer Larry Bird, but Larry Bird's ultimate rivalry has to go to Magic Johnson. These two guys, let's just say, they love each other but hate each other in the court. It's like, hey Magic, hey, what's up, Larry? Hey, I like you, man, but I'm sorry, I hate you in the court. Same here, Bird. I love you, but hey, I hate you in the court. So that's how you see these guys. The last time they faced each other in the NBA Finals was back in 2010, which I did saw it, and it was amazing. The Lakers won. However, these guys can agree on there's been an East Coast and West Coast rivalry, similar like the Yankees and the Dodgers, but except this is Boston and LA. This is like the rivalry team, and these guys, they're always fell apart to hate each other. Now, this team has seen this is one of the second oldest NFL rivalries, the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Now, I heard the rivalry started way back in the 1900s when the old timers, like I believe one of the old quarterbacks from the Giants was injured because of the Philadelphia side, was from the Eagles side. And ever since then, the rivalry was so brutal. They always fight each other. They always attack each other. Can't remember the time when back in, I believe, 2013, when the Giants were hosting the Eagles at their home. Out of nowhere, the Giants were taking the lead during the first three quarters until the fourth quarter. The Eagles were dominating. Almost made it to overtime, but somehow the Eagles managed to destroy them. Including, we can never forget the 2014 when I first time watching football, Sunday Night Football, when the Eagles destroyed the New York Giants with 0 points, and Giants having not a single one of them made a score. Although these guys can't stand each other, there's no blood, there's always rivalry. It's like Eagles, Giants, hey, I don't like you, you don't like me, we hate each other. We don't like each other. Sorry, but no. So these guys can't stand each other. Oh my goodness. Another rivalry between it all started back in the East Side when the Dodgers were the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Giants were the New York Giants. Yes, they were the New York Giants before they moved to San Francisco. So the rivalry started when the Brooklyn Dodgers, New York Giants see each other numerous times until they move all west. Fun fact is, I heard Walter O'Malley, the owner, talk to the old owner for the Giants, which I don't know what's his name, say, "Hey, I'm moving to Los Angeles. Why not relocate your team to San Francisco to keep the rivalry alive?" And he's like, "Okay, sure." So they did, and guess what? There's always a beef between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Fun fact is, I went to Dodger Stadium a couple months ago, and that was the team they faced. Because when Brandon Crawford made the home run, however, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, woof, Cody Bellinger, man, home runs, man, numerous times. These guys really dominated, destroyed each other. These guys, let's just say there's a hatred, including there was a, something was going on back in, I believe, 2012 or 13. But I'd rather let you guys look it up. I'm not going to explain to that, but there was some disbelief between, some fans and stuff like that. What was going on with this one fan had a problem, which I'm not going to explain to that. You guys go look it up yourself. I believe it was 2011 or 12 when there was a situation between these teams. All right, but we're not done yet, guys. We still got more. We got the last two teams, and then we're going to end the video. Oh, my goodness. Now, I have two uncles. One of them who's my biological, and my other one who is by marriage. Although they're both Bear fans, but they have in common, they can't stand the Green Bay Packers. And fun fact is, my uncle, he's married to a woman who is a Packer fan. Seriously, have you ever seen? It's like this. Have you ever had an uncle who is a Bears fan and he's married to a Packer fan? Oh my goodness, man. That's, I don't know what to say. The logo looks similar, all that stuff. If you look at the light fixture, if you combine them both logos, but I can never forget the time when Jim McMahon, the quarterback, was what's his name? Yeah, Jim McMahon, the quarterback, got an incident when what's his name? Charles Manson from the Packers grabbed him after the play was over, grabbed him, make him fall to the ground and cause an injury, and pissed a lot of Chicago fans off. Even fans from Chicago can't stand the city of Green Bay. They don't even like it. However, they could respect each other, but when it comes to sports, yeah, you're not gonna see their dark side. Like, imagine you're a Bears fan walking into Green Bay. Yeah, good luck. I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I'm not saying it's true or not, but these two teams, they don't like each other. So this is one of the oldest NFL rivalries in sports. Although this is one of the brutal rivalries, Packers and Bears. They started a long time ago when, not Vince Lombardi, when Vince Lombardi was a coach, I believe, when he skyrocketed with those Bears, including, I heard that one time he was like, say, I'm just pointing fingers, laughing at the Bears. I don't know. It was some interview, something like that. It all started with Lambeau and George Halas. They love each other so much, between Lambeau and Halas, but they just, both teams just don't like each other. There's hatred. It's like you're seeing the atrocity of Chicago versus the small town of Green Bay. Now, the final rivalry I like a lot is, these guys. Don't get me started. If you guys get me started, that's just one story, but I don't know if you guys want to get me started with this one. The New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox rivalry. It's been all over the news. It's all over the news. It's all over in movies, too. Yeah, I seen in movies that, like, for example, Stuart Little, too. They had some scenes where the Yankees and the Red Sox facing each other, including the movie Anger Management when what's his name? Adam Sandler can't stand the team. Ugh. It's all over movies, TV shows, everywhere, man. The Yankees and the Red Sox, these guys can't stand each other. It's like, doesn't matter whether you're good, you hate evil. But if you're evil, you hate good. That's why you guys can't stand each other. Rivalries go back way beyond, including when, what's his name? George, the great Bambino himself, George Ruth, or Babe Ruth himself, Mr. Babe Ruth, the greatest player of all time, was a player for the Boston Red Sox until he was traded with the New York Yankees for some reason. That causes the great Bambino curse on the Boston Red Sox until 2004 when they finally won the World Series. But just because, there's been curses and hatreds and everything like that, there's still no love between both of them, in Boston and New York. Just because, it may be a long-time rivalry, but they still have a lot of hatreds against each other. So just don't get me started. That's all I can say. All right, guys. So this is all I can say right now. This is everything I can tell you of some of my favorite the hatred one of my favorite hatred sports rivalries in the history of of sports. But still, it is what it is. All right, guys, this is all I can say right now. And like, comment, share, subscribe. And this is AALS. Talk to you guys later.